OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. And the first subject is health. Ed Campbell.
So, in the last 3 years, I've lost 6 stone in weight. Cheers. No, too late. A lot of audiences like to clap, they like to whoop, they like to cheer. You guys just went with staring, and that is absolutely fine. That's all right, that's fine. I think I might have made a mistake as well, because I'm not as happy now. I thought health would equal happiness. Turns out the happiest moments of my life were just me, sat on the sofa, in my pants, laughing through a mouthful of cake. I'm a more worried person now. I think, am I eating the right thing? Am I exercising enough? I went for a run the other day. I accidentally swallowed a fly. I had to Google how many calories is a fly. 6 per serving, if you're wondering. Weirdly now, I feel like an undercover fat person who's been secretly sent into the lair of the thin people to gather information on what those crazy villains are doing, and then I feed it back to the fat people. You got to feed it back. We eat anything. So I'm in there just going, what are these thin people up to? What's going on? Oh, interesting. That guy's got a packed lunch, but he's actually eating it at lunchtime. I have never seen that before. He's not just made it in the morning and then eaten it on the bus on the way to work and then bought chips at 1. That is intriguing resolve. Ah, they're using phrases I've never heard before. Things that only thin people say. I think I've got some biscuits. I'll just go and check. Who's living their life like that? Who buys biscuits and then forgets that they exist? That is unacceptable. I'm so deep undercover, I've met the bosses of the thin mafia. People who don't even like food that much. You go, oh, no, I'm not really a food person, you know. No, it's not. It's more of a fuel, isn't it? It helps me get through the day. If you don't like food, then what are you thinking about all of the time?
Thank you very much, Ed Campbell. That leaves us with Milton. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. The topic is shopping.
Tricky, isn't it, when you go to buy a toaster, and at the end the shop assistant says, well, what about insurance? And you don't want to, but you end up taking a hostage. Recently, I bought the autobiography of Francesco Cello, the man who invented sellotape. But I couldn't find the beginning. So, lads, if you want to confuse a girl, best thing to do is buy her a pair of chocolate shoes. So I took my cases and my clothes to Tesco, because they say they help you pack your bags. Instead, everyone was just running around going, do you want some fruit and veg? Do you want some fruit and veg? Do you want some fruit? Turns out it was one of those hypermarkets. What else can I tell you about myself? I own a small zoo and a pirate ship, although not at the same time. I didn't buy that much Lego. I mean, we think of pirates as being all smiley. It turns out they're actually all Somali.
Point it out and go to Ed Campbell. What's the next topic? Topic is drugs. And Andy's in.
Now, it seems only 27 people in Britain died from taking ecstasy last year, right? 50 people died from swallowing a bee. 72 people died attempting DIY in their own home. So how come we haven't also got campaigns, bees, don't swallow them, and shelves, just say no?
Andy Parsons. Let's see what Frankie has left. Topic is celebrity.
Yeah, I've got a bit of an insight into this because I've got to that stage in Scotland where people recognise me but they don't know where from. So last week I got followed by two guys who thought that I was the wee bear from Bo Selecta. Apparently, Catherine Zeta-Jones lives in LA, but she has bottles of air imported from Wales. When I want my house to smell like Wales, I just kick my dog until it farts. Pete Doherty, right? Does anyone else think that Pete Doherty is quite fat for a heroin addict? What's he been cutting his heroin with? A hollandaise sauce.
Thank you, Royal. Unlikely lines from the final Harry Potter book.
Don't worry, Hermione, I can get rid of it. Chlamydia disappearo.
OK, Hermione, said Harry, unbuttoning his zip. I'll show you a really magic wand.
No, there is no post today, said Ron. The Owls are on a one-day strike over care and conditions.
Midway through the orgy, Ron winked at Harry. This is better than Quidditch, his eyes seemed to say.
It was a magic mirror that showed the future, and in it, Harry seemed to be a 30-year-old actor appearing in something called The Bill.
Get the snitch, said Harry. I'll tie him down and you can drill through his kneecaps.
As the old man stood in front of him in his robes, clutching his wand, Harry regretted transferring to Catholic school.
I'm sorry, Harry. I'm having a baby and it's yours, said Professor McGonagall.
Then Harry says something, Hermione says something. Oh, who cares? I'm minted.
At the end of that round, ladies and gentlemen, have to give the points there to Frankie, Hugh and Mark.
Yes, the question I was looking for was how long is it since man first set foot on the moon, as celebrated this week? It was on July the 21st, 1969, that Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin set foot on the lunar surface, whilst the third member of the Apollo 11 crew, Michael Collins, waited in the spaceship. Collins later said he was sweating like a nervous bride.
It's such an interesting fact because, like, we've only really... A lot of the population just found out that there was a third guy. You're like, oh, really? Oh, cool. How tempted would he have been just when they were coming back just to put on an alien mask like that? So he went, hey, you never guess what the...
Before we move on, can I get this straight? We're going to talk about this like the moon landings happened?
Yes, we're presuming for the sake of this obviously that the moon has actually happened.
In 1969, right, they took off and went, oh, let's point it at the moon. Let's land on the moon. Oh, there's the moon. Oh, time's up. Let's take off from the moon. Go back to Earth. Let's point it. We don't want to miss Earth. NASA can't launch a rocket from here without blowing it up. Their next mission is called Operation Spacegrave. We, as a culture, do not have the ability to get to the moon. We don't have the ability to get a Saturday show right for Graham Norton. What else are we going to be talking about? We're going to be talking about Aslan's birthday, are we? Or Mrs. Tiggy Winkle having a wedding anniversary? It didn't fucking happen!
It did happen. There was a faked moon landing, but you are confusing it with the one by Wallace and Gromit.
Their current theory is that what they want to do is try and make a stopping-off station on the moon so as they can get to Mars. And that sounds to me rather like a Ryanair flight, isn't it? Oh, yes, we're flying to Mars. We actually land on the moon and there'll be a bus service from there.
Doesn't going to the moon and going to Mars seem a bit pointless now that we've invented Photoshop? Hey, there's a man on Mars and it's Bruce Lee.
They've actually found that they've got a little bit of Mars back, haven't they? And they've actually found that there is life on Mars in the form of bacteria. So now we know that if the Martians ever do land, all we've got to do, little bit at Sillet Bang, we're away.
It'd be a very short film, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
War of the Worlds. And just Tom Cruise cleaning his kitchen. End of War of the Worlds.
There's a British guy up there at the minute, isn't there, in the space station? Yeah.
No, just in space.
Oh, OK.
In space, just in space, generally. Oh, that's just sad thing in space. Satanta still have the satellite going around. Just recently. And it's just trapped inside is Steve McManaman going, hello, hello.
It's like the Superman baddie. Just spinning around.
all the Satanta presenters, Steve McManaman, Jor-El, they're all in there, trapped forever. Oh, we overextended ourselves financially.
You can't have a British space station. Now, it would just sound so rubbish just to hear him up in space going, Nuneaton, we have a problem. You know that robot you said you sent us? Yeah, it's an old man covered in tin foil.
You can't really have a British space programme, man. The only way we'll ever get a Union Jack onto the moon is if we stick Nick Griffin on Brixton High Street.
Would you go to Mars if you...
Are you offering?
I've already applied for the programme to be fired to Mars. I've applied several times under the name Chris Moyles. Yeah, just surprise me. Don't even tell me if you're going to do it. Just stick a sack over my head and fire me up there.
And if I say no, and if I say it's not me, I'm just joking. That's just a funny joke I do. Just fire me to Mars.
There's going to be no glory if we ever put a man on Earth, because you're there for 3 years not using your body. You'd arrive in Mars, go, here we go, and... my legs don't work!
By how many seats did the Conservative Party fall short of an overall majority at this year's general election? Did you watch it? Did you sit back?
I loved it.
It's great, isn't it?
It's the most British election I ever thought I would see, because no one wanted it to happen, nothing has really changed, and the only people happy are the losers.
That's great, isn't it?
Perfect.
It's the most victorious loss that I've seen since the Jamaican bobsleigh team in Cool Running.
Corbyn kissing his lucky egg?
Yeah. Don't you call Diane Abbott an egg?
Apologies. So it sort of felt like they campaigned on quite diffuse things, like Labour were talking about, you know, schools and hospitals, and Theresa May kept talking about British values. And the problem is British values mean different things to different people. Like, to some people it means sort of openness, tolerance, and a sense that you should be able to achieve whatever you want, regardless of where you're born. And to other people it means white people. Yeah.
By the way, thanks, Reece, for coming in, for balancing off the panel, because we haven't had any just openly racist people on. And we do get a lot of criticism for being a bit lefty, you know, liberal and all that, so it's been useful to have you in.
It's a pleasure to represent my people.
But exciting as it unfolded as well.
It was pretty sweet, because she called the election because she was just showing off and trying to get the landslide, trying to show how strong she was. It's like watching someone flex their muscles and then straining too hard and immediately shitting themselves.
What's the difference between a podium and a plinth?
Well, that is... that's a lectern.
Yeah,
a podium is the thing that you kind of... that stands on, isn't it?
Well, a plinth is the thing a statue is on. You can place a podium on a plinth, but you can't place a plinth on a podium.
That sounds like a tongue twister.
This is the kind of Irish wisdom we can all look forward to.
Which neatly brings us to the Democratic Unionist Party, who are the new power brokers. Let me just reassure you that you may be enjoying my work, or Graham Norton's work, or Terry Wogan's work. The DUP are not in the whimsical end of Irish. They're not in the gentle comedy of the slightly wry look at life. They're in the chaining up swings on a Sunday so children can't play School of Irish Politics.
Why didn't you never tell us about them?
Because, frankly...
It's been 12 years or whatever this show's been going for. And you're just going, you know, all the stuff you normally say, that they won't let me fight the robots and robot wars or whatever.
Give me one round where I can fight the robots with a weapon of my choice. And we'll see who's the winner there. Who's a Lord now, Mr. Killalot. Why have I not told you about the pleasures of the DUP? Because you ain't ready for the DUP. Wait till you meet the people who don't believe in dinosaurs. That is... Our next round is called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board of 6 categories. Ramesh, which category would you like?
Sport, please.
OK, the category is sport. The answer is 264. What is the question?
Is it the number of back-to-school photos of our kids my wife posted up this morning?
Each one more delightful than the last.
I'm just like, the second one ain't even that good looking. Do you know what I mean? Just... keep him secret for the good of the family name, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're really trailblazing in that department.
Listen, mate, that's not problem. The poor bastard looks like me. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what I've said to my wife. Should we have another one? I'm going, if we have a girl, the risk, I'm not willing to spin the wheel. I'm not willing to do that. Girl that looks like an Asian Rolf Harris, absolutely not, mate.
Is it how happy is Ramesh out of 1 million?
Is it what would be a rather worrying nickname for the parents of your new girlfriend to give you?
Is it how many free seats on the train does Jeremy Corbyn count as no free seats?
Is it the new retirement age in Greece?
Is it how many hours in a junior doctor's working week? Yeah, right, guys, I went there.
Is it how many dick pics I get sent every time this show goes out to air?
Sorry.
Is it the number of voters in the referendum that actually fully understood the ramifications of what they were voting for?
Yes. True that, Rob. True that.
Is it how many summers must pass before you reach the sell-by date of a pepperami?
If each member of Jedward had 132 sweets, how many people in the country remember who Jedward are?
Any of the correct answer, please?
Across the whole series, how many points am I ahead?
Because I think you'll find it here.
Does anyone have the actual correct answer?
It's how many Paralympic athletes are there in the GB team?
They're absolutely right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, you guys.
Really good, really good.
Very quickly.
Go on.
265. Now, when you count that point...
I thought you just meant somebody else has just acquired a disability.
Jesus, and then wheeled away.
Yeah.
And suddenly you're wearing a Team GB outfit. You're wheeling down. Yeah! Yes, the question I was looking for was how many athletes is Team GB fielding at this year's Paralympic Games in Rio de Janeiro? 264 Paralympic athletes will represent Great Britain and Northern Ireland across 19 events. The competition starts on Wednesday and runs until the 18th of September. However, what hazards might the athletes face in Rio?
Things are very difficult for the Paralympians in Rio because there are unfinished... There are holes in the ground and there are uncovered wires and there are ramps and bridges that aren't finished. But things aren't necessarily any better for Paralympians here, you know. I'm looking forward to the British Paralympian medalists coming back to a hero's welcome and lots of media coverage, and someone from the government telling them that obviously, you know, perfectly good for work and they're having all their benefits cancelled. was going to happen.
Are they not selling tickets either? They struggling.
Tickets. Well, it felt as big as beginning to turn around now. But
it was like £2.30 for some ticket, which
slashed the price.
Is it? If you don't want to pay £2.30 to watch two geezers in a wheelchair have a sword fight, I don't know what's wrong with you. It sounds quality. I loved it when it was in London.
How do you enjoy the Summer Olympics?
Well, it was a mixed bag, wasn't it? Because, like, I went there one day and in the morning I got mugged and hit over the head with something in double vision. But in the afternoon I saw some of the best synchronised swimming I've ever seen.
It's immaculate, wasn't it? It really was.
I ended up watching a lot of beach volleyball. I love the beach volleyball. not for the obvious... Yeah, no, not for the obvious reason. The reason I love it is because after every point, whether they win or lose, whether it's good or bad, they hug each other. Everyone hugs after every single point. It's almost like they just really want to hug each other and the sport is completely incidental.
Do you want Ramesh to give you a hug when you get something right?
And it's crime. Away you go.
So, I had my cheese grater stolen. I got burgled, not for the cheese grater. When you get burgled, everyone says the same thing to you. Everyone says, oh, tell you what the worst thing about being burgled is? It's knowing that a stranger's been through your things. You go, no. It's not the worst thing about being burgled, is knowing a stranger has my things. If they had just been browsing, I wouldn't have given a shit. Offer me two options. One, come home, my laptop is gone. Or two, come home, find a stranger in my room going, well, I like this T-shirt, but, have you got it in a large? I thought my dad had said I've been burgled. He said, we know why you've been burgled and we haven't. It's because we're in the neighbourhood watch. I said, no, it isn't. It's because you live in Devon. A small village in the middle of nothing, but mile upon mile of moorland. I mean, no one's going to burgle you, because whatever they took, it wouldn't cover their petrol money. From what I can tell, the only proactive thing the neighbourhood watch does is once a month they have a meeting. All that does, it tells burglars for one night out of every 30. All houses are empty and unwatched. There's this paranoia about crime back in Devon, where I'm from. Went back recently, went into the local co-op, and it's a tiny co-op in a tiny village. But I went up to the desk, and there was a sign that said, did you know we now do legal advice? And obviously my first reaction was, no. And to be honest, I was pleasantly surprised you did sugar puff, so... Why is the co-op now doing legal advice? Just too many people coming in going, I'll have 10 silk cut, a Viennetta, and I've killed a man.
Well done, very good. Well done, you.
What weird modern-day inventions have been in the news this week?
There's a bracelet they've invented that shocks you if you don't go to the gym when you said you were going to go to the gym.
Yes, it's called it's a wristband, with a Pavlov wristband, and it gives you a motivational zap if you haven't. It tells you GPS-wise. It senses that you're in the gym or wherever you said you were going to be, or at the meeting you're supposed to be at, and it gives you an electric shock if you're not.
I don't think motivational and zap go together, really, do they?
It's basically a watch for masochists, isn't it?
Yes.
You know, it's like, I've been a bad boy. I don't think I've quite been bad enough. Turn it up a bit more. I wonder if I put this on my penis, how this is going to work.
You wouldn't need to... Just make sure you're not down to 2%, you'll be all right.
You're saying if you go to the wrong website, it'll give you a little shock so you don't go on the website.
Yes, it
but
does
surely
do
if you
that.
go on a website that you shouldn't really be on, you just delete history, don't you? I mean, the tricky bit is not deleting history. The tricky bit is then going on all the innocuous websites afterwards so as it doesn't look like you've deleted history. That's That's the tricky bit, isn't it?
History seems to be very empty in this computer, because I saw you on it all evening yesterday.
Yeah, I never touched the delete
I've never on it, like, whatever, yeah. Yes. Private browsing, Andy, private browsing. My favourite member of the Army Corps, private browsing. Good afternoon, private browsing. Are you on duty again? I certainly am, Dara. I shall be protecting you from any inappropriate sights. Private browsing, reporting for duty. Pants down, private browsing in here.
I shall protect your browsing while you shop for gifts for your wife. That is apparently what private browsing was invented for.
I love that. Oh, I mean, I've got private browsing on because I'm shopping for some gifts for my wife. Oh, really? You seem to be buying her pornography. Are you sure this is the gift she particularly wants? Private browsing. Reporting for
She
duty.
told me that her favourite film as a child was Double Fist and Fist.
Private browsing isn't happy with it. Private browsing has never had to work under these conditions before. He's mainly used for shopping for gifts.
Private browsing is retraining as an electrician.
Why did you leave the army? Oh, the things I saw. I saw some things
You
in
weren't
the
there,
army.
man.
You weren't there. You weren't there. You didn't see what I saw. The first casualty of war, my friend. Your private browsing, the first casualty of war is innocence. Private browsing. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what I'm doing, like Benny Hill. Private browsing. At your service. Madam.
Benny Hill would do.
No, it'd be like, you know, what's it, the paper clip that would appear. It seems legit.
You look like you're buying some pornography.
Small animated soldier came out and said, "Do you want to look at the porn?" Private browsing can help you with that. I'm amusing myself here. It's the last recording of a long summer, you know. Literally, I've got to enjoy this because in 3 days' time I'll be going, over the next 12 weeks, 20 candidates will be putting themselves in sugar.
Private browsing's going to get some visitors.
He's going to get some fucking hammering.
I think your penis is going to get some corporal punishment.
There will be some major damage and general recklessness. What do you, Trent and Colonel Abrams?
That was it.
Sorry, we'll bring it back.
Lost it.
Stop. Colonel Abrams is great, though. None of you remember... Do any of you even remember Colonel Abrams? Anyway, he sang a song called Trapped. It was really good.
I can't get out. I'm trapped like a fool. I'm in a cage.
I'm like a man in a cage. I'm so in love with you, love with you, love with you. Sorry, did I really carry on with the show? Sorry. Yeah, whatever.
You boys have got a shared past. We can only imagine that.
Our next round is called Picture of the Week. I show the panel a topical image and ask them to tell me what's happening. So, what's going on here?
You know that thing when a dog's eaten a bee?
Is David Cameron going, 6 pages? Is this really the complete list of taxpayers in Greece?
Is it David Cameron can almost smell the shit coming off the Tory manifesto? I only got a bit political, didn't I?
Is he looking at the tea menu and he's saying, I'll have the millionaire's shortbread, or as I call it, shortbread?
Is it Cameron upset to see no Dizzy Rascal on the karaoke songbook?
He does a very good bonkers, actually. He does a very good bonkers.
Is it Cameron orders Eton mess for dessert and for the country?
Yeah, you're right.
Sorry, Has Rob Beckett had a head transplant?
I've got a tiny dick now, but I love politics.
Have you got a third joke that you're going to do about... Go on!
Oh, Cameron preparing to sell NHS at auction. It's fun doing politics, isn't it? What a time to be alive.
Is that Cameron checking the TV listings going, Rob Beckett's on Mock the Week, that's the end of me, then?
His hard-hitting caustic satire is finishing me. He's mocking me on that week.
If the joke's not good enough, just put your hand up in the air.
Am I right, brothers? Am I right? Yeah. My dad's in the bath and I got some politics. Let's go!
Is it Cameron reading a note that just says, David, this is the only way I could speak to you. I haven't heard from you since May the 7th. Call me, Nick, XOXO.
Or is he in fact just going, all right, it says here, Nick Clegg is in fact doing the Sheffield Panto at Christmas. That's what it says here.
He's bounced back.
This, I think, is Cameron at the G7, isn't it?
It is, absolutely, yes. It's Cameron at the G7. Why is he having these high-level meetings?
He's trying to kind of get them to make some changes to the EU to convince... Because we're doing this whole EU vote. I think the EU is misbranded. No one would want to leave if they called it the League of Legends. If they said, do you want to leave the League of Legends? I'd go, no, mate, I'm the chairman.
We've got to vote again already. I'm going to start feeling like...
It's in 2 years' time.
Oh, I'm going to start feeling like a pedo waiting around school halls 8 in the morning. It's embarrassing.
You don't have to wait around for 2 years. In fact, I strongly
I'm really into politics now. I'm going to think about it.
What does he ask?
He wants major concessions, mainly on free movement of people, on immigration, doesn't he?
Yes, but that is essentially the whole point of it, is that you can't, and you can't deny benefits to people because you've got to treat them as your own citizens, right? So how is he going to stop European immigrants coming into the country?
Dara, you've been claiming off us for 10 years, mate.
All right, don't cheer that. Yeah, finally somebody has a nerve to say it. Mr. Giant Head Posh Leg.
It'd be brilliant now if UKIP made you a campaign issue.
Stop this man for too long. Is human.
Got a big picture of me. So, big picture of me going like that. This man, bam, bam, bam. Picture of me. Just grabbing all your cash.
He's visiting.
Toura, lura, lura.
30 years ago, it was all Warsaw Pact, but now it's empty.
If we leave Europe, we'll have to pay more for Kinder eggs. Because they're going up as it is.
Yeah, I know.
Like 70p.
You know, if we leave Europe, we'll get the Kinder Egg and we'll open up and there'll be no toy.
Oh, my God. I
did not expect that to have quite the effect it had. Right? Wow, somebody just cancelled Christmas for the
Well, what we could do is deliver France an ultimatum saying that if we don't get our way, we'll call Greg's a patisserie.
Now we play a round called Don't Go Bacon My Heart. This game involves Gary and James, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch the wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers will step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is leadership.
Leadership looks fun, but it's stressful. Just look at anyone leading a conga. On the outside, it looks brilliant, having a great time all the time, just... Yes, you bloody are. Yes, you bloody are, mate. In their heads, just going, I don't know where I'm going. I didn't plan a route.
I never asked for any of this. God, I miss my family. Everyone's trapped in the conga. You think you can leave? You can't leave. Person at the back, maybe, they could let go and make a run for it. Everyone else, you let go. You're not out the conga. Now, you're the leader of a rival conga. Now you've got turf wars to worry about. Worst case scenario, you're second from the back, you let go. The one person behind you loves congas, isn't giving up for anyone. You're trying to mingle at the party with a maniac on your hips. Can have a serious discussion about the Lib Dem conference and still going hell for leather. You'd have to go swimming just to get rid of them. Never going to lead a conga. Never going to lead a Three Cheers either. I don't know who these lunatics are. I don't know where you acquire that level of confidence. Just get up in a room full of people. 3 cheers for Jackie! Hip, hip! What if everyone goes, no? Not 3 cheers for Jackie, she's an unpleasant person. How about no cheers for Jackie? Hip, hip, shut up.
The category is sport. The answer is yoga, sushi and ice. What is the question?
Is this what Eric Pickles uses to deal with trapped wind?
Is it what would the 3 wise men have brought Jesus if he was born in Notting Hill?
You think your Chinese tattoo says keep the faith. What does it actually mean?
Is it in fact just what does Madonna smell of?
Is it 16 years from now, what will my son tell me when I ask him what A-levels he's doing?
Is it name 3 things Nigella won't be asking Charles Saatchi to pay for anymore?
Is it Pingu's Rider?
He did nothing. I'm doing nothing till I get more sushi in here.
What is the strapline to the hit Japanese television programme, The Loose-Limbed Fish Eaters of the Arctic?
Is it what answer will you get if you ask Paris Hilton to name the elements?
Is it, if you own a bar in Soho, what should you call it to guarantee it'll always be chock full of wankers?
Is it simply what are 3 things which are very difficult to sell door to door?
It is name 3 things that can make you lose the feeling in your legs.
Sushi? Yeah. Do you know what sushi actually is?
Is it what Andy Murray uses to keep up his training regime?
It absolutely is. Well done. We start with a round call. If this is the answer, what is the question? On the board are 6 categories. Matt, which category would you like?
World news, please.
OK, world news it is. The answer is petrol, money and drugs. What is the question?
What will the motto be for the Qatar World Cup?
Yes, the question I was looking for is what items are at risk of running out in Greece after Sunday's crucial vote on the EU's bailout terms. This is news as 61% of the Greek population voted against accepting the strict austerity measures proposed by the EU. There's now a real risk that the country will run out of money, fuel and medicine. So what does it all mean for Greece?
It's ridiculous now. The whole thing is just going on. It is like a soap opera. And I don't watch the Eurozone crisis now day to day. I wait till Sunday and I watch the Omnibus edition.
This thing of just referring to the Greek exit as Grexit, it just is like, are you in that much of a hurry that you couldn't say a 3rd syllable?
If the British exit happens, it's going to be called Brexit. It sounds like a cheap form of Lego, or what the Greek Prime Minister does every time he meets Angela Merkel.
Let's kick off with a round called Inside the Mind of. With the G8 conference fast approaching, we clamber inside the mind of the American president. Can anyone tell me what the voices inside George W. Bush's head might be saying?
Are they saying, if you step on the cracks in the pavement, George, we have to invade Syria?
Unlikely film trailers.
Harrison Ford is 73 and he's back in Indiana Jones and the tricky patch of ice outside the post office.
We start with a round called Picture of the Week. I show the panel a topical image and ask them to tell me what's happening. So what's going on here?
Is it the only couple that Ed Balls would beat on Strictly?
He's saying, please join me, Owen, on my cabinet. I'm so lonely.
I imagine Jeremy Corbyn's just going, I did warn you, Owen. If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
He's incredible in that he can gather so many people together in a rally and they sort of see him as a messiah in the same way he will probably be crucified in the next election.
There's a Chancellor George Osborne ahead of the Conservative Party conference this week. A recent survey has put him well ahead of his rivals to succeed David Cameron as the party leader. It's exciting to know that this has already started.
Yeah.
Party leader election, which will take place in 2019, and there's already polls about who's going to be taking over.
Well, I hope it's not him, actually. I hope it's Boris. Because if Boris gets in and Corbyn's in, you can forget about politics altogether, don't have an election, have no election at all, and just settle it all with a bicycle race.
Your category is politics. The answer is 4%. What is the question?
Is it? What are the chances of Johnny Depp appearing on the next series of Mr. and Mrs?
Is it how much of the old Top Gear audience has Chris Evans held on to?
Including those in their
Is it by 2017 what proportion of celebrities will still be alive?
I know. Ooh, we're not the one killing them.
Here's a picture of Leader of the Opposition, David Cameron. But what does TLEC stand for?
Is it Tories launch exfoliating cream? Where would you put it?
Or is it the Top Man launch Eton collection?
Or is it just simply Tosser leading everyone to catastrophe?
Are you not a natural Tory?
Commercials that never made it to air.
To qualify for second meerkat toy, Alexander has invaded Ukraine.
OK, let's spin the wheel again. Subject is health. Andy Parsons.
With flu jabs now, what they do, don't they, is they put a little bit of flu into you to help you combat the flu. I was thinking by that argument, surely you should be able to have the odd cake to help you fight obesity. Because let's face it, you can do too much exercise, can't you? You know, did you see Madonna's arms? They didn't look right, did they? It's like half human, half Terminator. Of course, that's the problem when you're always picking up small African children going, no, no, no.
Thank you very much, Andy. What did David Cameron announce on Father's Day?
He announced that he wanted people to stigmatise runaway fathers in the same way that we stigmatise drunk drivers.
Yes. It was an unfair attack by David Cameron, really. I mean, he just stigmatised the whole group. Just because you father a child out of wedlock, you run away, take no responsibility for that child and never see them, does not mean that you're not Mayor of London.
This is a picture of the victorious German football team celebrating their World Cup win in the dressing room with Chancellor Angela Merkel. Germany defeated Argentina in the final by a single goal from Mario Götze in extra time, becoming the first European team ever to win a World Cup in South America. Were you shouting for anyone or not for anyone? Or
most English people were shouting for Germany, which is a first, really, isn't it?
I didn't mind who won. I just it was a good game, but I found it very difficult just watching as an England fan because it all gone so wrong for England. And I bet if you're watching in 4 years' time on Dave, we're still shit, aren't we?
I could never support the Argentinians, not after what Maradona did, Wembley 2003. He didn't sing Material Girl.
The one I love, the guy I love being there was Putin, because he was there because they're hosting the next one, isn't it?
Yes.
And every country that hosts it is desperate to win. And he must have been looking at that final thinking, the only way that Russia are going to win is if we invade Germany.
Putin sitting next to Blatter was the finest photograph in the history of democracy. How do you win your elections? Oh, I never run against anyone. Me neither! High five! High five!
The death of Brazilian football. That's what they'd witnessed.
Oh, yeah.
Not funny, but
that was
interesting.
Well, you say that. It was kind of funny. There was, because a few weeks ago I was talking about the head, you know, the way they were overemphasising the pretty women in the crowd type shots all the time. And I said, and I on the show called for more shots of children crying. And then when they posted, there's that one of a small boy just blubbing his eye, and he's pushing his glasses out of his face, and he's got a Coca-Cola can, which is beautiful branding, absolutely spectacular branding, and he's weeping into it. And I got sent that image 4,000 or 5,000 times on Twitter in the minute after it was posted with the words "Happy now." Yes, I was. I went through it. Welcome. Which category would you like?
Home news.
Home news it is. The category is home news. The answer is 12 days. What is the question?
How long is Andy Murray gonna party after his won Wimbledon?
We'd like to believe so.
Is Andy Murray stupidly about to post his gold medals?
Where's Andy Murray?
Andy Murray is in Dunblane in Scotland. This is his homecoming after winning the US Open, which was a surprise to me, as I had no idea he played golf.
Andy Murray, a man who actually came along to our studios, didn't he?
Yes, indeed he did.
Came along after he'd lost Wimbledon.
Yep.
And then after we'd all taken the piss out of him,
yep,
he went off and he won the Olympics and he won the US Open.
Yes.
I think all sports people who are struggling should come into the audience of the show. Let's get Paula Radcliffe, Philip Sidowu, Nick Clegg. It'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
I think if I was opening a Pizza Express, I'd open it next to a Vision Express, so we got some of their customers by mistake.
We start with a round called Headliners. Here's a picture of the spectacular opening to the Olympic Games. But what does BGMC stand for?
Is it British Gas Managers Celebrate?
The answer is 1,000,000%. What is the question?
Is it, what is the blood alcohol content of Amy Winehouse?
We're wearing the same thing. How terribly embarrassing. I didn't know you had a kilt. Well, we didn't have her killed. It was, the inquest... Oh, look, someone's been sick. Has Harry been in? There is your luggage, Your Highness. Oh, good. That's my cheese for the journey. Don't want to keep anyone waiting. Wish my mother felt the same.
Unlikely things to hear in a TV election debate.
I think of this studio as a second home, which is why I'm claiming expenses for it.
My girlfriend and I love watching box sets. We got 3 episodes into Orange is the New Black before finding out it wasn't about what would happen if Trump replaced Obama.
Thank you very much. Well done. Point in that round. Gonna go to Edie. Come on.
They've given the Spanish banks 100 billion euros. I don't think you should be giving Spanish banks 100 billion euros, not given the number of British bank robbers currently living in Spain. I think it's a mistake.
arrive, isn't it? It's not going to arrive in one van.
A lot of it's going to a bank called Bankia, isn't there? It sounds like a bank from a children's programme, doesn't it?
It is difficult to take the economies of countries seriously where the word bank is written as banco. It is generally easier to think that they probably don't do it. Hey, Beneditos, and banco! Banco, 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 banco.
This accent's all right, as it does.
I'm sorry.
To be honest, Dara, you've been doing a ridiculous accent since the beginning of this series.
No, but Dara, it does help when you go on holiday there, though, doesn't it? Because, you know, even someone like me, I walk along and I go, supermercado, I reckon that's the supermarket. Banco, that'll be the bank. Baro, bar. Got half a chance. You've been to Japan? Nothing. I give you nothing. You walk about, you don't know what you're doing. I was in the bank the other day, this is absolute truth, and a man had a shit on the floor. It was the most shocking thing I've ever seen in my life.
That is one hell of a deposit that he has made.
He probably normally does all of his banking on the internet, but he couldn't log on that day.
Now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics and we'll see what our panellists can come up with. OK, here we go. The first subject is unlikely greeting cards.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Sorry you're dead. What can you do?
Sorry you're leaving. And sorry to break it to you in such a cowardly fashion.
Happy Father's Day, whoever you are, wherever you are.
Roses are red, violets are red, the greenhouse is red. I think I'm bleeding to death.
At this difficult time, I'm thinking of you, wearing suspenders and a mask.
I saw this and thought of you. Blank inside.
My feelings can't be put into words, although the judge did describe them as inappropriate.
That was a scrape. Congratulations on your circumcision.
Congratulations, you did it. And we'll prove it. The Crown Prosecution Service.
It's a girl, not a woman, which is why you're going to prison.
With deepest sympathies for the loss of your grandmother. / happy housewarming!
You've passed away.
21 years, and this time you'll probably die in prison.
To our darling son, on your 21st birthday, now get the fuck out of our house.
Please help me. I'm trapped inside a North Korean card factory. Also, Iron Man says happy 4th birthday.
Roses are red, violets are blue. When you go down on me, please don't chew.
OK, the next topic is things you wouldn't hear on a science documentary.
The dinosaurs were wiped out by a giant asteroid. Silly them for all standing in the same place.
Does it burn anything other than Bunsen?
He named the star after himself, and now we find ourselves looking at Arthur Cockmonster III.
So, it glows in the dark and it has a half-life of 1,000 years. Frankly, I've never done a poo like it.
On today's show, we'll be talking about the Jurassic period, where only dinosaurs and Bruce Forsyth roam the earth. He's old, isn't he?
For Sarah Palin, it's conclusive proof that man and dinosaur existed together. For everybody else, the Flintstones is just a cartoon.
Next, biology. Why is that gorilla so sexy?
Let the proton see the electron.
Scientists in Loughborough found the formula to make the perfect cup of tea, which is quite controversial as the grant was for AIDS research.
You've been watching me, Richard Dawkins. Good night and God bless.
See, and the problem with cocaine is it's well Moorish.
Well, we could ask a proper scientist about this, or we could ask Dara O'Brien.
Hello, my name's Dara O'Brien. And to try and bring science to the masses, I'm going to appear in a programme with Stephen Hawking wearing a ridiculous hat.
Just enough with the, you know... I love that hat, by the way.
Hello, I'm Dara O'Brien. And I've got a massive head and a massive brain. But all I get to do in this bit is just press a little button.
Mr. O'Brien, I award you a PhD. Phenomenal head, Dara.
I would just like to say that I think Dara O'Brien's a legend.
I work with Dara O'Brien. And today, my experiment is to turn this joke into a P45.
OK, well done, Jim McMahon. Points go to Rory, Hugh and Miles. OK, your category is media. The answer is 600 metres. What is the question?
Is it, if Kelvin Mackenzie was to do a bungee jump from a height of 500 metres, what length rope should he be given?
Is it, in fact, what head start would I need if I was competing against Usain Bolt in the 100 metres?
Is it simpler than that? Is it how big are some trees, Dara?
No trees are 600 metres.
Simpler.
Is it how far is the Queen's bed from her ensuite bathroom?
How far away can Boris Johnson smell a custard cream?
Is it, in fact, how far can the Proclaimers walk now?
Is it at what distance is Theresa May attractive?
None of the rest of us could do that, but good to have you on board.
Is it when kicking Chris Brown in the bollocks, exactly how long a run-up should you take?
Is it Proportionally, if a clown's nose was the size of Dara's head, how long would his shoes be?
Is it how long was the longest runner bean ever grown at the Fukushima nuclear plant?
Is it, in fact, how long would your penis be if all the products in the spam emails worked?
Is it what is the delivery radius of a relatively unambitious pizza company?
The next round is called Between the Lines. Rory and Hugh, can you make your way to our Mock the Week press pit? In this round, one player takes the role of a famous person making a speech, while the other says what they really mean. Rory, you are George W. Bush making his TV address to the nation. Hugh, tell us what he's really saying.
My fellow Americans.
People of Florida.
2 years ago, I declared that hostilities in Iraq were over.
Unfortunately, nobody told the other side.
See, we proved them wrong in Iraq. They said there was no link between Iraq and Al-Qaeda.
There is now.
What people have to understand is the problem was essentially our lack of intelligence.
People have to understand the problem is essentially my lack of intelligence.
See, problem is people keep putting words in my mouth.
Imagine what it would be like if they didn't.
Well, we will stay in Iraq until the job is done.
We will stay in Iraq until the oil is finished.
Very good. Both of you, congratulations. Rory and Hugh. Points for everyone. Sit down.
Why might we be hearing more of this sound?
Because it's the summer.
No, but longer
They've been allowed to play their chimes longer,
yes,
haven't they? The
Yes,
Ice Cream Men. That's
yeah.
what,
There was a law that passed, the chime law passed. I mean, there are various small laws passed this week, like gay marriage, for example. But no, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the chime laws, where Ice Cream Men are allowed to play for 12 seconds rather than for 4 seconds.
Is it because of childhood obesity that they need more time to get to the ice cream?
Yeah.
There is a real problem with ice cream vans. I'm not sure this is funny, but it's kind of interesting.
Okay.
Which is that it's all based on a national consultation they had about the future of ice cream vans. And do you know how many responses they got to the national consultation?
99. Tell me it was 99. Okay, at the moment that we're recording now, the what is the nation gearing up to? What is
Pancake Day?
No, that's pancake.
The royal baby.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
David Beckham was asked, wasn't he, as to what he thought the kid should be called, and he said he thought it should be called David, but only if it was a boy. And you're thinking, when has David Beckham got so sensible about names? Jacqueline Harper Cruz. You can't tell whether it's male or female or a boat trip round New York.
It has to be something that goes with princess or eventually queen. So Latifah or of the South. Those are.
No, do you have a better name? This is Greatest Hits.
What name they give the baby should depend on what they take as a surname. So if they're going to go with Windsor, if it's a girl, Barbara, if it's a boy, Legoland, and if they're going with Cambridge, either way, Travelodge.
So it's the state of Britain today, though, that Prince Charles is going to become a grandfather before he's even got his first job. I mean, that's a tragedy, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is a tragedy.
Yeah, Andy lives in an estate.
You're never going to be able to... I don't know how you discipline a royal baby, though. What can you do to royal kids to go like, right, you've been naughty, you're grounded? Well, in Buckingham Palace, quality.
The only bit that I'm really looking forward to is the bit where they finally announce the baby, when Prince William comes out onto the balcony going, hey, Henry,
A man with children.
Just a bunch of giraffes on the balcony.
The first subject is politics. Oh, Nish.
So, we're living through a real period of political instability, both here and in America. And in the last couple of months, some unlikely saviours have emerged. Tony Blair is considering a return to frontline politics, and Chelsea Clinton is contemplating a run for the Senate in 2020. And to those people, let me just say this. Maybe just leave it. If you want to turn your public opinion around, the way to do it is philanthropy, right? And let's look at someone who has turned their public opinion around through philanthropy. Look at Bill Gates, right? Bill Gates, for the last 15 years, with his wife Melinda, has spent all his time trying to fight the spread of infectious disease. I don't understand the science behind what's going on. From what I can tell, Bill Gates is trying to bribe AIDS to fuck off, right? And we like him for that. But in the 90s, we hated Bill Gates because of the paperclip. Basically, there was a paperclip, and you turn on Word, and the paperclip would appear, and it would ask you if you're writing a letter, but you weren't writing a letter. So you're like, I hate you, Bill Gates! I'm going to buy a Mac forever! And there are people genuinely putting their money where their mouth is in regards to philanthropy. Look at J.K. Rowling. We all need to be very nice to J.K. Rowling from now on, because she may be about to be all we've got economically. We have no manufacturing sector. Our service industry has been driven by mass migration from the EU. After Brexit, our entire economy may depend on the adventures of a fake wizard that technically ended in 2007, right? We got the play, we got the films, we got the film tour. Can we do a play tour? JK, please write another book. Wales is sinking. Maybe something about Harry trying to get his finances in order in his 30s, like Harry Potter and the Mystery of the Fixed Rate ISA.
Thank you very much, Nish.
Now we come to scenes we'd like to see, so if everyone can make their way over to the performance area. I'll read out this week's topics, and then we'll see what our panelists can come up with. OK, the first subject is things you wouldn't hear over a tannoy.
We apologise for the delay. Fuck knows when Brexit's happening. The train on platform 3 has been cancelled because it said something racist on Mock the Week.
Please do not leave your children unattended. Unattended children will be removed and destroyed.
And if you look out of the window on your left, you will see Christ the Redeemer, because I've crashed the plane and this is the afterlife.
This is cashier number 5. Can I get a price check? Can I get a price check for 1 large tub of Vaseline and 1 cucumber? Oh, it's OK, he's gone.
In a moment, the flight crew will remind you you're in a metal tube which can fall out of the sky. Please pay attention as they tell you about a whistle that in no way will save your life.
This is a reminder to smokers, this is a no-smoking flight, and this is a reminder to vapors, you don't look as cool as you think you do. Amsterdam brothels would like to apologise for the yelp of pain you just heard. Unexpected item in the shagging area.
Hello, this is your pilot speaking. Just to prove that I am not too drunk to use the tannoy, Jeff.
Just a reminder that when we asked you to report anything that doesn't look right, we meant sort of like terrorist stuff, not just a baby wearing ripped jeans.
To avoid congestion, please walk right to the end of the platform, through the tunnel, and to the next station.
Don't forget you can take advantage of many deals in store today, or go with no deal because we're British and we won a war!
If you see something that doesn't look right, please ignore it. This is England, after all. See it, feel uncomfortable about it, sorted.
This is your pilot, Captain Mohammed Qasim. Psych, it's John Smith.
This is an announcement for the man in the petting zoo. Heavy petting is not allowed. Get your tongue out of that llama.
And we've just pulled out of Paddington. Nobody expected the third film to end that way.
This is your train driver. I don't wish to alarm you, but it seems that we have travelled into space. Now, nobody... nighttime again.
OK. Next topic is unlikely lines from a blockbuster movie.
We are a race of super-intelligent beings who come from Uranus. Why is everyone laughing?
Welcome to the Hunger Games, or as it's also known, London Fashion Week.
The only way to defeat the evil clown is turning him off, then on again. This is IT.
Look, Rose, the way I see it, the ship is sinking and we're all going to die, so bum stuff?
Joker. A comedian becomes psychotic because people don't find him funny. Just a little warning, that's all.
Fast and Furious, the story of what happens to sex in marriage.
No, of course I'm not Mad Max, not with this cold. I'm Lemsip Max.
Oh, shit! Oh, that hurts so much. God, I hate living in Lego World.
There's only one superhero who can get into this frozen meal. Leave it to Thor.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius. Sorry? Yes, I did go to private school. How'd you know that?
Dude, where's my car? I traded it in for a bike. Oh, piss off, Greta.
I don't like to call it the One Ring. I refer to it as an unexpected item in the Baggins area.
I think this could be the beginning of a very beautiful friendship. Look, he sent me a dick pic.
Woody, Buzz, you're not the only toys that come to life. I belong to Andy's mum, and my name is Rampant Rabbit.
Do you want to know why they call me the Riddler? It's because all of my partners are riddled with STDs.
I got this role because Romesh couldn't make it. I got this role because Nish couldn't make it.
At the end of that round... And the point's going to end. Ishan and Sindhu! What toy is expected to be a big seller this year?
It's a kind of plastic unicorn.
It's a plastic unicorn. That makes it sound almost pretty and beautiful, doesn't it? That makes it sound like a really lovely thing that would be charming and delightful. Here's the...
It's so beautiful.
That is so lovely.
It's like somebody's put LSD in the kettle at the My Little Pony factory.
Yes, this is Poopsie the unicorn. The idea is that, right, you feed the unicorn, right, and then the unicorn, it passes through the unicorn system, and then you have a little trough of the stuff here, and you add some powder to the trough, and that makes a special unicorn thing. You squeeze it into the unicorn. Let's hope that I've tightened it up correctly.
Don't force feed it. Don't force feed it, darling.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What do you mean? Making unicorn pate?
Yeah.
Come on, Dara, we want to see this unicorn shit.
I didn't even ask the unicorn if it wanted a bottle.
Okay, so I think it's going in the unicorn now, and then Now, let me see if this works now.
Oh, my God. Quite a lot of it's coming out of its nose.
Yeah, by the way, you should also know it's got a heart-shaped anus, which...
That's not normal, Reese. Don't expect that.
Okay, and then at some stage, when you give it a bit of a slosh around,
Oh,
supposed to press the button.
You're supposed to burp it first.
I'm sorry. Okay, now, I'm sorry. It
this
is
feels
awkward.
really abusive.
It's a plastic. It's also... We can anthropomorphise things too much, I feel.
Christmas is here.
Hey, kid.
This unicorn should go to a doctor about the colour of that.
Yes, so
pretty high tech, isn't it? This thing
is amazing, and it's so it's the sense of wonder. From the and the idea is you add this substance that comes out of its anus, then you add some chemicals to it, and then magically, in a type of unicorn magic only known to every parent in the world, because we've been doing it constantly for the last year, it becomes slime. It comes out, and it becomes 15 minutes later, it becomes slime.
Wow.
You would glitter into it.
What about all the kids whose parents can't afford one of these, but the kids still desperately want it? They're going to have to stick a cornetto on Grandad and give him some laxatives.
The question I was looking for...
The news. What has Prince Charles said is the largest challenge facing the world today?
Is it narrow doorways and you get your ears caught?
It's climate change.
Yes,
Isn't
it's
it?
climate change rather
it's
than
not
the narrow
ears
doorways.
thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was ice buckets.
It's not ice buckets. No, are ice buckets the reason for climate change?
No, but they are one of the biggest challenges in...
They are. They are. Everyone has to do it at some stage.
Charles is worried, apparently, because we've only got another 30 years until climate change might be irreversible. And he's therefore worried that it might ruin his coronation.
This is Charles yesterday on the Royal Yacht, which is not quite as impressive as it used to be.
Is this a summit in New York?
Yes, he's at in Europe.
China and India have not turned up to the summit, and they're like the worst ones for climate change, which is ridiculous. It's like Oscar Pistorius not going to an Oscar Pistorius trial, isn't it? And he's got the biggest carbon footprint going. That's the thing. I like a bit of climate change, isn't it? It's like I was in the garden yesterday. It's September. It's lovely. It's October soon. Sitting in the garden still. No? Do you not have gardens?
That's weather. That's not climate.
Yeah, where does the weather come from? The climate. All I'm saying is, if it goes up a bit, you know, it's not that hot in Lewisham. It's nice to have a couple of extra degrees.
I'm glad you're having a nice day in the garden.
Thank you.
I'm sure there's a polar bear somewhere going, all right, this seems to be getting smaller, but at least Lewisham is having a nice day.
We've had a rough few years. And I'm not going to bump into him anyway, am I?
I would love it. Ding dong, and you open your door and there's a polar bear and they're going...
Well, to be fair, luckily, because
holding a tiny piece of ice under his arm.
To be fair...
My hands!
Because of the narrow doorways, you won't even be able to get in anyway.
The United Nations, they're encouraging people to go vegetarian, aren't they? Because apparently one of the big problems with climate change is all these cows farting. So, yeah, either we've got to eat less meat or we need to give the cows a bit of Pepto-Bismol.
I don't understand that, because, like, if the cows farting is causing the problem, then surely eating them is the solution. I mean...
Okay, you think we're eating cows as a way of saving, you know, we should we've got to eat all the cows before they fart us into a climate change?
The thing, I mean, I'm speaking as a vegan, by the way, but there is a logical disconnect here, because, like, you know, you say that, you know, you don't want to have all these animals that are farting, whatever, but there is this point we have to go. We'd have to just, what do? Just release them into the public?
On the unlikely thing that the rest of us who aren't vegans suddenly go, do you know what? No, not going to do that. No more meat. We all go, no more beef. There'll be other cattle farmers going, what am I supposed to do with this lot then? And you go, well, just let them go. No. Let them go back into the wild where they belong.
Feed them to the polar bears.
First.
Now we play a round called It's Getting Hot in Here, so take out all your jokes. This game involved Tiff and Ramesh, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launched a wheel of news, and whoever chooses to stop one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. The first subject is magazines. Who wants to come in on that?
OK.
Tiff.
As a woman, most of your life is designed to make you feel a little bit shit. And magazines are responsible for that. You know, magazines like OK, which I look at on the shelves and think, when are they going to stop putting people on the front of that who are quite clearly not OK? Magazines will recommend that you have plastic surgery. That seems to be everywhere. Too much plastic surgery these days. I think that's why they've invented emoticons. Right, they're for women who've had too much plastic surgery, so you can just hold up an iPad and say, I feel happy, I feel sad, I feel like a smiley poo with eyes. But I think the worst thing that magazines do is they perpetuate trends, really bad trends, right? I don't know how you guys feel about vajazzling. But I genuinely believe it is a plot by religious groups to get gay men interested in vaginas. By making them look like disco balls. I told my mum about the vajazzling, right? I said, Mum, they do this thing now where they put Diamante on your downstairs. And my mum just went, vajazzling? In my day, you were lucky if you gave it a wash.
Thank you very much, Jeff. OK, that leaves us with Ramesh. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is parenting.
I'm a parent. You know, we had our first child, and our first child is such a lovely kid. You know, he always says please and thank you. He's such a wonderful, wonderful little boy. I said to my wife, do you know what? I think we might have mastered parenting. I think it's just about setting clear boundaries and being consistent. The second one, feral. Right. Like, I love him, but what a prick this kid is. Like, I love him, but what an unacceptable human being. Like, I love him, but I don't like him. You know, that's... Like, I'm going to have to say to him one day, you're a mistake. And not, like, in the way that the contraception went wrong. Like, the decision to have you was a mistake. Sometimes I want him to get hurt. There you go, I said it. Now, listen. I don't mean really hurt. I don't mean really hurt, I just mean a little bit. You know, because he doesn't listen, this kid. When I say to him, don't do that, dude, because if you do that, you're going to get hurt. And then he does it, and he doesn't get hurt. That pisses me off, right? Because that is life telling him that I'm full of shit. This kid's running with scissors with no consequences, do you know what I mean?
Very good. At the end of that round, the points go to Tip Saver time. Come on back, both of you. We start with a round called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Matt, which category would you like?
World news, please.
OK, world news it is. The answer is petrol, money and drugs. What is the question?
Is it the 3 middle names of Princess Charlotte?
Is it what 3 things might a Greek keep in a chicken?
Is it what do gangsters play instead of rock, paper, scissors?
Is it what 3 things are keeping Keith Richards alive?
Is it what in the sound of music are the Von Trapp's family's real favourite things?
What are the 3 characters called on a packet of Colombian Rice Krispies?
Is it what 3 things are we being paid in this evening?
All together in one big bucket.
Yeah. What will the motto be for the Qatar World Cup?
Is it complete the song? Hugh Pew, Barney McGrew.
That scans. That probably scans very, very
well.
well.
A much better song, wouldn't it?
It would have been very good. What are the 3 main aisles in a Bolivian Waitrose?
Do they know the correct answer?
You know that tattoo you got that you think says peace, love and harmony? Is it to do with Greece?
It is to do with Greece?
Is it what 3 things are they worn in Greece are about to run out of?
Ah, very good. Thank you very much, Ed Byrne. That's excellent. Yes, the question I was looking for is what items are at risk of running out in Greece after Sunday's crucial vote on the EU's bailout terms? This is news as 61% of the Greek population voted against accepting the strict austerity measures proposed by the EU. There's now a real risk that the country will run out of money, fuel and medicine. So what does it all mean for Greece?
It's ridiculous now. The whole thing is just going on. It is like a soap opera. And I don't watch the Eurozone crisis now day to day. I wait till Sunday and I watch the omnibus edition.
This thing of just referring to the Greek exit as Gregxit, it just is like, are you in that much of a hurry that you couldn't say a 3rd syllable?
If the British exit happens, it's going to be called Brexit. It sounds like a cheap form of Lego, or what the Greek Prime Minister does every time he meets Angela Merkel.
I don't get this thing that you can... I didn't know that you could reject banks' demands. If I'd known that, my whole life would have been different. If I'd been able to go to the bank and go, well, I do owe you 10 grand, but I really like my lifestyle.
It could be, but it could be a mis-selling scandal, doesn't it? Because as far as I'm aware, Greece was never made to sign that box that said your home is at risk if you do not keep up the repayments.
You think they're waiting for the PPI?
Yeah, I think
the
they'll
400 quid of PPI.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that will bail them out of this stuff.
Apparently the Greek government have admitted that living in their past is their Achilles heel.
No one was expecting that reaction,
no. Oxy, they went. Oxy to that. I think it's definitely a case that if they want to get bailed themselves out, like whatever, they really just have to invoke copyright law on all the stuff they invented some time ago now, right? But that they definitely invented, like democracy, triangles and gays. And if they...
Philosophy as well. The birthplace of philosophy, isn't it?
Or was it?
Yes. Oh, you
Who
know,
knows?
well...
Why do you think that there is a professional philosopher at home going, that's not what philosophy is? It's not just going, or is it?
I think there's a lot of opportunities in Greece, actually. I'm going to start a band called Cash Machine, because people will be queuing around the block. But we've been told if we go on holiday to Greece that we should take lots and lots of money with us.
Yes.
To rub it in?
I think it's to pay your kidnappers.
I've
reckon there's a ploy behind the telling tourists to bring as much cash with them as they possibly can, because they know there'll be a load of overweight, old British tourists there with massive bum bags of cash round the front. They're basically just sitting human ATM machines. That's all they are.
Do muggers line up behind the tourists whilst one of them goes, no, €60 each.
Yeah.
There is a limit for mugging these people. That's it. Politics, and the answer is 9%. What's the question?
Is it a percentage of British people without sunburn?
Yes. In this room, I think. Yes.
Is it the percentage of British men who bought for their wife 50 Shades of Grey, then tied them to the bed and pissed off down the pub?
Rounding it up, what % of Jesus' disciples turned out to be a bit of a wrong 'un?
Is it what percentage of people at a Michael Bublé concert aren't using Tenalady?
Is it what percentage of EDL members can spell EDL?
Is it at what point would I normally start running around the room going, have you got a charger? Have you got a charger?
Is it for how much of history has Bruce Forsyth been alive?
As a relatively successful stand-up comedian, how much tax should I be paying?
Is it the percentage of Talisa's phone book she didn't have to delete in custody?
What are Edward Snowden's chances of making 40?
What? I'm not going to kill him.
Are you sure you weren't initiating the murder of Edward Snowden?
Unless this is a sleeper cell that I really hadn't known about. You've operating since 2000.
You definitely offered me £100 backstage to kill Edward Snowden. It definitely happened.
To be honest, you're a Geordie. You'll do anything for £100.
What proportion of the UK electorate think UKIP is in fact a sleeping tablet?
OK. I know I say these words a lot.
The real answer is...
I need to use words.
What gradient of hill makes Chris Froome go, that's a piece of piss?
How many Glastonbury Festival goers are still chilling out in front of the pyramid stage?
Is it how much of the show will be over by the time you get the correct answers to this?
What percentage of this panel will still be alive when Dave show the final repeat of this episode?
Amen, brother.
I would like to... OK. Sorry, genuinely, the correct answer you can, please.
Genuinely,
yes.
What percentage of people actually can't believe it's not butter?
Is it genuinely... What percentage of Dale Winton's skin has not been replaced by a world of leather?
Please, can we just have a proper answer for once in the show?
Is this the MP's pay rise? Is this how much our MPs pay due to go up by?
Absolutely right. Thank you very much, Ed Byrne. Now we come to our final quickfire round called Scenes We'd Like to See. This is for everyone, so if you could make your way over to the performance area. I caught ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and the performers come in with their suggestions. OK, here we go. The first subject is questions that were rejected from this year's exams.
If the answer is 9, what is the question?
When you finish this exam, please will you turn your paper over and mark it.
Using Darwin's theory of evolution, explain Boris Johnson.
By the year 2015, the population of the Earth will have increased by 20%. How do we find Kerry Katona and stop her?
Complete the following sequence. 16, 35, 24, 8, 9. Now open the safe, grab the stuff and get in the getaway car.
object is travelling at 750 miles an hour, encounters resistance and slows to 0, for how many months will Richard Hammond have to wear nappies?
On the diagram below, show on the body where you like to be touched.
Describe Uranus without telling your parents.
Amy is 16. At least she said she was. How much trouble are you in?
Complete this crop rotation. Wheat, fallow, rock festival, BNP rally.
If everybody in Class A is called Tom, Thomas or Tommy, and every second boy in Class B is called Tim, Timothy or Timmy, what the fuck is going on?
Unlikely questions from this year's exams.
Discuss the metaphysical meaning of the following poem. My friend Billy has a 10-foot willy.
Would you like this exam to be A, multiple choice, or not?
The Bronte sisters. Shag, marry, push off a cliff.
Discuss the following. The Nazis got all their ideas from the History Channel.
Who was the chap in the A team who would not get on the aeroplane? Was it A, B, or B, A?
If a bank loses £60 billion in a 6-month period, using numbers that you've plucked out of thin air, work out what the chief executive's bonus will be.
Napoleon, a small man or a long way away?
Quantify n in terms of q when q is a positive integer that dissects a parabolic curve.
How's your lucky pencil case now?
What's the name of that round thing that they throw in the Olympics? Discuss.
Draw a diagram of the genitalia of the male elephant. Use all 30 sheets of paper provided.
Biology. Without singing, what is the knee bone connected to?
Explain the use of juxtaposition in Macbeth. Alternatively, write down everything you know about Macbeth in a blind panic because you've got no idea what the word juxtaposition is.
Drama. Question 1. What was it that first made you want to become a waiter?
What is your PIN number?
OK, here we go. The first subject is rejected questions from this year's exams.
If sine A over A equals sine B over B equals sine C over C, what are the chances that you're ever going to use this in your sodding adult life?
According to Germany, how much is Greece worth? 1 mark.
Exam board of Zaragoza. Paint Jesus.
Jonathan is a Nigerian prince. What are your credit card details?
3 girls in this hall are pregnant. Who's the daddy?
Compare the following. A, the market. B, the meerkat.
Heat the crystals until they produce a vapour. Inhale. The exam seems easier now, doesn't it?
Without swearing, describe Peter Andre.
mental arithmetic. Count up the voices in your head.
Using the paper provided, roll a joint and pass it round.
Does this look infected?
In the recent Olympics, Great Britain won 3 times as many gold medals as Australia. That's not a question, just a statement.
One Direction are incredibly popular. Explain.
Sport. How do you spell Akabusi? Is it A-K-B-U-C? Yes or no?
If Steve eats 2 apples, an orange and a banana, why is he such a fat fucker?
Questions omitted from this year's exams.
Using pie, distract the fat kid next to you so as you can copy his answers.
Using only the English language, write something.
History. Henry IV, Henry V, Henry VII. Which was the greatest Hoover the caretaker ever had?
Maths. Robert has 400 stamps. He'd like to put them in 12 different albums. He wants to have them equally in each album. How many friends does Robert have?
Do you know the way to San Jose?
Religious studies. If 2 men have been married for 10 years, for how long will they burn in hell for?
If the fluid has been flowing at 21 litres a minute for 15 minutes, what on earth is wrong with my bladder?
Fill your name at the top of the exam paper. If it's Tyler or Charmaine, get up, leave the school and never come back.
Using only the mass of the ass and the angle of the dangle, calculate the measure of the pleasure.
Yes. If a man travels 12 miles each day to buy a loaf of bread, how long before he realises that living in the countryside is shit?
Are multiple choice exams too easy? A, yes.
Optician's final exam. What do you think are the main causes of short-sightedness? And now? How about now? And now? What about now? And now?
Media studies, trick question 1. Name a business like show business.
Geography. What is to blame for climate change? A, the sunlight, B, the moonshine, C, the good times, or D, the boogie?
So that leaves us with Hal. Let's see what your topic is. Let's spin the wheel. Topic is nationality.
Ah, yes. Well, I'm English, obviously, which is rubbish, isn't it? No, it is. No one likes us. If you, I follow England at rugby, at football. Everywhere we go, we get booed. Everybody else boos us. My wife, Northern Irish, boos me in bed. Absolutely. Boo! You're rubbish! Get off! You English are crap! It's not all English people, it's just me. I was actually doing a gig in Scotland a couple of years ago in Glasgow, and I said to a room full of Scottish people, is it true, whenever we play football, you support the opposition? And they all went, yeah, yeah, we do. I said, you know what? We do the same to you, we just never know when you're playing. But I happen to think that sort of anti-English thing, and with Brexit, means the UK is finished. Eventually, in my lifetime, the UK is going to break up. I said I was a passionate Remainer when it came to Brexit, or Ramona, or my favourite one, a sneering member of the metropolitan middle-class liberal elite. I love being called that. I love being called elite. It makes me sound like we're like super troops, you know, that go around the area in a van, keeping it bourgeois. We all screech to a halt, we jump out, we take up our favourite yoga position immediately. That cafe's no longer serving decaf soya lattes. Destroy it! Say that word, quinoa. It's quinoa, you bug!
Thank you very much. Well done, Hal Crittenden. I can't drive. Hold some both of you. Come on back.
They were holding it in Northern Ireland, weren't they? And I suppose one of the advantages of holding it in Northern Ireland is if they do have any anti-G8 protesters, people in Northern Ireland are just going to laugh at them, aren't they? You know, call that a protest. We'll show you a protest.
It's good for the protesters themselves, because I would imagine Northern Ireland is one of the best places to find a cheap second-hand balaclava.
I did a tour last year and I was talking about the riots in London, and there was a point where I would go, "Did you see the riots?" to the audience, you know, and Northern Ireland, in Derry, they went, "Riots? My hole." It was like a genuine civic pride in how much better their riots were than the riots. One bloke shouted, "That was a shopping trip." And the reason I brought up always is because there's one thing when it comes to riots, and this may have been like in their mind. There's one thing that they have in Northern Ireland that the rest of the UK don't have when it comes to riots. Do you know what it is?
A loyalty card?
No.
Hello, John. Hello. Yeah, back again.
Looting you again.
Yeah.
A genuine grievance?
No, a piece of equipment. It's actually the UK's, but they're all stored in Northern Ireland.
It's water cannons.
It's water cannons.
But they could make those friendlier by popping a Barocca in.
Hang on, if you put a Barocca into a water cannon...
Just get friendly foam. It'd be like a disco. Everyone would love it. So it would be orange. It might be a bit antagonistic.
Yeah. All of the UK's water cannons are stored in Northern Ireland. The funny thing is, if you ask that in Northern... Everyone in Northern Ireland knows that. If you ask, hey, why were there no water cannons at the London riots? Everyone in Northern Ireland knows what. But if you ask in, say, Northampton, why were there no water cannons at the London riots? The genuine first answer was hosepipe ban. As if they didn't use it in case middle-class people pretended to riot to get their... Oh, come on, I'm rioting! Yeah. I'm rioting near the begonias. I'm rioting here. Here we go. The first subject is things you didn't hear at the Queen's Jubilee.
And look at that, a sea of red, white and blue as thousands of hyperactive children vomit up the icing from the Jubilee.
You can't help thinking that nationalism may have gone a little too far. The flotilla is now anchored off France, ready to invade Calais.
And we hear recently that the Queen's dogs have done a complete overhaul of the palace plumbing system. Mercifully, they're corgi registered.
Come in, number 46. Your time is up.
And now's our chance to join in lustily with the second verse of the national anthem. On to be served... Ma, the Queen.
Yes, Doc. So if I say I've got a bladder infection, will it work? Oh, excellent. I can't stand Gabby Barlow.
Harry, when I told you to put on your uniform, I didn't mean that one.
And it's amazing to think, isn't it? She is 86 years old. Please give it up one more time. Annie Lennox.
And this is a real Jubilee mug. A man who's paid £25 for a Jubilee mug.
Awful scenes before the concert as a rather embarrassing fat man has jumped onto the stage. He's pulling faces and mouthing to Robbie Williams records. Oh.
And the Queen places the diamond in the stand, lighting the final Jubilee beacon. Now she enters the Crystal Dome and tries to collect as many golden coupons as she can.
And the boat spread out over the vast space of the Thames like thoughts in Fern Cotton's head.
There she is, Her Majesty the Queen. Where else could you see an 86-year-old standing for hours just waiting to be seen? Well, any NHS hospital. OK.
In other news, what do doctors want us to stop using?
They're waiting rooms to sleep in.
People taking helium, and they enjoy it, and they speak very highly.
Bizarrely, that's correct. Which is...
It's a finite resource, and it's needed for MRI scanners.
And what not? Yes, very, very true, yeah. It's being used up on fripperies like balloons. And squeaky voices.
Yeah, although I'm doing this one without it.
They're worried that instead of helium then in balloons, they will instead start using nitrous oxide in balloons. But nitrous oxide is laughing gas. So then that's the worry, is that the kids will be able to get high on their balloons if we end up having to do party balloons with nitrous oxide.
But if you're worried about kids getting high on nitrous oxide balloons, you can surely get high on a helium balloon just by holding on to it.
I was doing a gig at Festival, I think it was, and you could hear when people are taking nitrous, like you can hear it because there's an audible because they do it into a balloon and into their mouth to give themselves a giggle, and people were doing it at my gig. Actually, kind of it's a cruel heckle, isn't it? It's like, OK, I'm going to need something to get me through this.
Is it not fear that, Ed, that you deliver one of your trademark jokes and the crowd will go... Was that not the sound?
I only found out those little canisters that they suck it from are called whippets. The little canisters of nitrous oxide.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, they're called whippets. Yeah. Somebody said to me, the kids are sucking whippets in the park. And I was like, oh, my God, do I need to call the RSPCA?
By the way, how do scientists now think the universe will end?
Oh, well, spoiler alert.
There's a thing called the Big Rip.
Yes.
The universe is sort of is accelerating so fast and getting faster and faster and faster that eventually it will just rip itself apart.
Yeah.
Is that right? And that'll be the end.
They say this, how do scientists now think? What other nonsense have scientists just made up about what might happen 20 billion years from now when no one's around to say, oh, you got that one wrong? It's just nonsense that his mate Brian natters on about to keep himself siphoning BBC funds into his big fat bank account. I'll tell you what, it's all bullshit.
Me and Brian on the astronomy gravy train with all those millionaire. Yeah. Making a rain. Look at the Big Bang now, bitches.
What will happen, though? I mean, they're saying this might happen in 22 billion years. That you can guarantee it'll be the day that the Greeks do pay back the last cent.
Finally.
10 cents.
It's called the Big Rip.
The Big Rip is actually
going to continue to accelerate faster and faster until the whole thing
actually an
just comes
extension
apart.
of the Big Freeze, and it's either that or the Big Crunch. Yeah, it's
Are they all the same thing?
No, Big Freeze would happen first, then the Big Rip would possibly happen after that.
And when is
Big yellow storage from that.
That is just off the M4 in Hounslow.
And then there's the big inns where the whole universe just goes into panto for the rest of its life. Big inns.
Oh, big inns!
I agree with that.
Wow, that was too long a journey for me.
That was a bit. There was a lot. There was a leap there. I agree with that.
Tell me that joke again, Ed. I got some.
Oh no!
Fine.
Now they're going to have to broadcast my bad joke for your good joke to work. That's the worst thing that can happen to a comedian.
Oh, you pick on Brian Cox, you pick on me, right? That's the way this works, my friend. At the end of that round, the points go to Matt, Zoe and Josh. And the topic is history.
Some things in history are good, some things are bad, some things are good, and then they get bad, like my great-great-great-uncle was bored in the trenches during the war, so he invented the high-vis jacket. That was the last thing he did. People don't really understand evolution, do they? I was talking to an Australian the other day, and he thought that he came from Darwin. Recently, I wrote a book called All the Things I've Ever Done in My Entire Life, and I don't want to spoil it, but in the end, I write a book. So what's got two eyes and smokes? Pompeii. Too soon? My grandfather, he can't do what he used to, you know, bomb the Japanese. And it turns out you can't actually keep an artefact that you find with a metal detector if it's already in the British Museum.
Thank you very much. After that round, the points go to Deborah.
Now the topic is family.
Oh, OK, fine. I did that run very well, didn't I? So, affording your own home is very difficult in today's climate, and recently I've been forced to live with a couple. They're called Dad and Mum. And one thing that my parents' friends all like to let me know is that they are down with the pervs. They are down with the pervs. They love the pervs, and I'm gay. I'm gay. I don't know if I needed to explain that. Well, I say I'm gay. I hardly find the time. But I mean, I'm a Gemini as well, but they don't get a parade. But the thing is, like, their friend, Les, wanted to come over and talk to me. Les comes over and he says, oh, Tom, I've got to tell you, right, my brother, he is gay now. Gay? Now, I mean, it sounded like he'd done an evening class and become a Pilates instructor. So oh, yeah, my brother, he's gay now, and he's ever so worried about telling me, He said, oh, I've got to tell you, Les, I'm gay, Les. I thought, gay, Les? That's complicated, isn't it? I didn't know you could be both. So I'm gay, Les. And I just said to him, Tom, oh, don't worry, bruv, there's one on every bus. Which I thought was a very confusing thing to say, because as far as I'm concerned, all the gays I know use Uber.
Thank you very much, Tom. Well done. Give that round. Points go to Tamara.
Now we play a round called School of Hard Mocks. This game involves Rob, Andy and Stuart, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch a wheel of news and whoever chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. The winner is whoever I think is the funniest. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is consumerism. Who wants to come in on that? Andy Parsons.
So we always like to have a go at politicians, don't we, for getting us into debt. But we're also addicted to debt, aren't we? People waste their stuff. Well, you know, loads of nonsense, isn't it? Things like personalised number plates. Don't ever do it. Anybody can get a personalised number plate, yeah? You can change your name by deed poll for a tenner, right? Just change your name to your car registration number. And it's the same people going, oh, yeah, look, I've got a new watch. Got a new watch, I have? Yeah, it's a diver's watch, yeah? Goes down to a depth of 200 metres, this does. 200 metres is the depth of the North Sea. If you find yourself at the bottom of the North Sea, you're not diving. The ship has sunk, the air bubble is running out, and it's going to be little consolation you know at the bloody time.
Thank you very much, Andy Parsons. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The next subject is food. Who wants to come in on that? Rob.
I like food. I eat it most days. The thing is that I've moved out with mum's now, so I go home and see my mum and dad, and I'm excited to see them, but I'm more excited to see the contents of the fridge. But she's on a diet, my mum, right? She got all the brothers round, me brothers round for a Sunday lunch. You know what she did, the whole family, for Sunday lunch? Couscous. For lunch. Right? I rang Childline, they didn't want to know. I don't trust couscous, to be honest with you. Anything you put in your mouth that feels already chewed should not be in there. It's fat sand, I don't want any part of it. Right? She served it with toasted pita bread. Have you ever toasted pita? Anyway, why is it so hot? Had a bit of folded bread, what's its problem? A bit of toast pops out warm and toasty, the pita's on fire. Once you get past the hour, I've got the dragon breath inside to deal with. There's only two things in the world hotter than toasted pita bread. One's the sun, yeah? And the other's a cheese and tomato toasted sandwich. What's that prick's problem, right? What's his problem? Do you know what I mean? The cheese, I've not got a problem with the cheese. The tomatoes? They're little slices of lava. I'll put you in a toasted sandwich, mate, not Dante's Peak. What are you doing? You bite into it, anchor onto the slice, you pull the sandwich away, the slice stays, slaps you on the face, burns your face off. 3 days, I had a big red circle like that. I look like a thirsty dog.
Well done, Rob. OK, that leaves us with Stuart. Let's see what you've got. Spin the wheel. And the topic is jobs. Where you go.
Was my French teacher into golden showers? Oui. I'm a Canadian comedian, but if people think I'm Russian, Soviet. As a gynecologist, I was terrified of vaginas. I won't go into it. Very sad, I've just come back from the funeral of my coke dealer. I was fired as a Boy Scout leader. I wasn't prepared for that. I used to be a sarcastic high jump coach. Get over it! I used to be a professional table tennis player in Southeast Asia, and recently I went back for a big party. Oh, it was a real Hong Kong ping-pong ding-dong. And someone fired up the old karaoke machine. Oh, it was a real Hong Kong ping-pong ding-dong sing-song. And someone rang the doorbell. Cops. It was the cops. I used to be a cop. One night a guy asked me if he could urinate on my wrist. I said, not on my watch.
Thank you very much. Good night!
Thank you very much, Stuart Francis. Points there for Stuart and Rob and Andy. What the hell? Come on, everyone gets points.
Basically, Ed Balls has been implicated in the plot to overthrow Tony Blair because he was part of this whole idea of rebranding Gordon Brown as Project Volvo because Gordon Brown was supposed to be dull and unreliable, basically, or dull and reliable.
Yes. Well, it was they did some research. The two parties did... Well, Labour did some research, and they found that Gordon Brown was likened, if you could get an object, he was likened to a Volvo, a bear or a buffalo. And they did some research on David Cameron and they found that he was likened to a spritzer, an Alco-Pop, a BMW or a horse.
Isn't the idea that they wanted to rebrand him because when people given these abstract concepts, they thought Gordon Brown, they think of as beer and whiskey, and David Cameron as spritzer and Alco-Pops. Who could look at that and think that that's negative towards Gordon Brown? Hello!
Spritzer drinkers among us.
I love them. I tell you what, if it was a Campari, you'd have had my vote. The memos that this was based on leaked, right? The last time Ed Balls saw the memos, he says, they were on his desk when he was Secretary of State for Children, Schools and Families. What kind of incompetent person leaves incriminating paperwork on a desk after they've left a job? Wait a minute. Frankie's plan to oust Dara?
Never happened.
The plan was to try and make him appear more normal.
Yes.
This was the thing. They wanted to hide his exceptional school record and the fact that he excelled as a student and was fast-tracked through politics because he was a really good student and really clever. And they wanted to hide that fact and make him seem more normal because that makes him appeal to the voters, to be more normal. People want to vote for someone who's like them. I want someone exceptional in number 10. I don't want someone who's like me. I spent 2 hours yesterday trying to remember if I'd had a shower yet or not. That is true.
Sitting where I am now, I can tell you the answer for today is no.
What is Michael Gove planning for British prisons?
He's going to sell them.
He's going to sell them off for what, though?
He's going to sell them off in inner-city prisons. He's actually going to sell off the flats, isn't he? They won't be calling them prisons, obviously. They call them gated communities.
I only hope that the viewing starts early and there's people, middle-class couples looking around going, oh, yes, no, oh, no, we'll knock through here. And there's a bloke going, try that.
He is, though. He's trying to reform the prisons after he turned the school system into the prison system.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm sitting next to Rob, I feel like a bus driver or the guy just standing up front talking to me.
Another thing, and you know how you stop yourself falling over if you're doing that? You've got to really just spread your legs across.
In France, is it called doing a bit of croissant? Doing a bit of porridge, isn't it?
Oh, porridge, sorry, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. I wasn't in my world. I bought Alpen the other day without added sugar. I was really sick. It was like eating the bottom of the hamster cage.
How do you know that?
Because I was really hungry one morning and I didn't have
A lot of prisons are more independent now anyway. Broadmoor, Strangeways, Australia...
The first subject is unlikely lines to find in the Bible.
He's not the Messiah, he's a very naughty boy.
And God said, "Let there be light." Sponsored by Power Gen.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
And God said, right, that's the 14 commandments. Now, will you remember all those?
That's very good.
Table for 12, Jesus. I can do 2 6s at 8:30.
And on the 8th day, God created a magic talking leopard and forgot all about us.
And Mary said God had given her a child, so Joseph went and joined Fathers for Justice.
And it rained for 40 days and 40 nights, although Thames Water still had a hosepipe ban.
St. Paul's third epistle to the Corinthians. Dear Corinthians, I've written to you twice now. No reply. I don't know how you do things in Corinth, but where I'm from, that's a bit rude.